Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and in today's video we will be discussing the Japanese healthcare system and getting sick in Japan. Now, why am I talking about this? I'm actually currently sick, so please excuse my appearance. So yeah, I thought it was a great time to discuss this. I'm first going to talk a little bit about my personal experience getting sick in Japan. Then I'm going to talk about the healthcare system in general and how you can get healthcare. And last but not least, I'm going to talk about going to the hospital, going to a doctor's office, some helpful phrases if you don't speak Japanese fluently yet, and yeah, just what to do. So I hope you stick around and let's just jump right in. Okay, so I'm actually not really a person who gets ill very often. At least that's the case when I'm back in Belgium. I just get like once a year a cold and that's about it. Now, that's not at all the case when I'm here in Japan. It's probably like the difference in climate, different lifestyle, different foods, plus different pathogens in the air that has caused me to get ill quite a few times in the past 4 years. So it's been 4 years since I moved here. Now, especially in the last 8 months, I haven't had the best health, I would say. I've had multiple vaccinations for corona, of course, with side effects because of that. Then I had in August a very bad case of strep throat. I had to be taken to the hospital with a 41-degree fever at night, and I had to get like an IV and all that kind of stuff. So it was like not the best memory. Then 2 months later I felt ill again with strep throat. This case that time not as badly, luckily. And then only like 2 months ago, back in March, I had what I think is a very bad cold. I don't know, it just kept on going for 2-3 weeks. After 2 weeks I developed a fever and felt even worse. So I went to the doctor's office and they told me to get a PCR, which was negative. And then I got properly treated finally. They still don't know what I had exactly. And now when I finally started feeling like better, more like myself, I started like working out more and just yes, I'm back, you know, kind of the feeling. Then I fall ill again. It's been 4 days since I got sick, kind of. On Sunday last week I suddenly started feeling like this itch in my throat. When I start feeling that itch and soreness in my throat, I know that I'm probably going to get sick. And just if I can do anything about it, I just try that day to really stay hydrated, eat lots of vitamins, take some minerals, take supplements, take a walk, move my body, anything to try and help to either make me less sick in the coming days or just get it complete rid of it. Now this time it didn't work, so on Monday I just felt horrible. I had a really sore throat. I couldn't barely swallow or eat anything, and in the span of a day, like my temperature rose a lot. So in the morning I just had like 37, so like low-grade fever. But at night then it went up to 38.2. And I felt pretty bad. So then on Tuesday morning I finally went to the hospital, the doctor's office, and got myself checked. But yeah, there's nothing much they can do until they've ruled out, you know, the pandemic sickness, Miss Rona. So then in the afternoon I went to get a stick in your nose test, which turned out to be negative. I got that the next day, but luckily now they do give you some medicine after you get the PCR test, so to treat your symptoms, so you're not really like suffering like crazy. They didn't do that in the beginning. Like when I got so ill with strep throat the first time, I also had to wait for my test results, and I didn't get any medicine or anything in the meantime. I just had to like bite on my teeth and get through it. Well, that didn't turn out so good because later that day I had to be taken to the hospital with an ambulance. So luckily they've improved that. Now they do give you medicine, and I've been managing the past 2 days with this. Funny thing is they don't give you like a whole box or anything. They only give you like for a couple days worth at a time. It's different from in my country. They give you a whole box or a whole bottle. On the other hand, it's better like that. I think less overdosing, and also you don't have to pay for a whole package. And I also got these. Yeah, so those are the medicines I'm taking now. When I take the medicine, I feel pretty okay. Like I have a little sputum, so slime stuff coming out of my lungs and my throat. It comes out really easily with the medicine, and then the other medicine really suppresses the what's that called? My sore throat. So actually I can speak and I can eat properly, luckily. So really lifesaver. I'll tell you really quickly about the throat medicine because I have had lots of struggles. I've had lots of struggles finding something in Japan that works for my sore throat. I have a weak throat, kind of like when I get sick, it's always like this kind of stuff. And when I have sore throat, just over-the-counter medicines really don't work for me. Like I don't feel a difference at all. Now this is pretty, I think it is pretty strong medicine. I actually don't know, but this is called in Japanese Toranekisame-san 250g. In English is tranexamic acid 250. This is also used to stop bleeding and to lighten your skin. But it also works very well to suppress the inflammation in your throat and sore throat, and I can attest to that. This is amazing. So if you find yourself with sore throat in Japan and you go to the doctor, I would recommend asking this if you can get it, because it works like magic. It just takes all the pain away. I've never ever experienced anything like it. Okay, so that's more than enough about my own trials and tribulations with the medical system in Japan. Now let's talk a little bit about healthcare more in general. So if you moved to Japan or you live here, you are obligated to enroll in either the national healthcare or in your workplace healthcare system. The benefits are more or less the same, but just you need to go with either of those. So yeah, you need to enroll in it. It's usually you have to do it either through your company or you have to go to the city hall to register for it. You get this either like pink card, or I've also seen yellow cards with your name and some information on it, and that's your healthcare card kind of. When you go to the hospital or to a doctor's office, then you always need to bring that one with you, because if you don't, you have to pay more. Still, like, even if you forget it, it's not the end of the world. Healthcare is still very affordable here, so yeah, it's pretty okay. So in my case, in a lot of Japanese people's case, you will have to take care of 30% of the what's it called, treatment costs. If you go to a regular doctor's office, you get checked up, it usually is around 1,000 yen, so $10 to $15, depends on what you get done. If you have blood drawn and tested, or you need to get an IV drip, it will be a bit more, but generally for a regular checkup, it will be $10 to $15 you have to pay. Otherwise, like if you need to take, for example, like me, a trip to the hospital with an ambulance, don't worry, it's free. If you do need to be hospitalized, it is probably a bit more expensive. Like Dean had to be hospitalized a couple of years back with the same thing as I had, a really bad case of strep throat. And yeah, it was pretty expensive then, his stay at the hospital, but usually people can also get like a private healthcare thing, and then they help to pay for the extra stuff, or you can get like subsidies from the government. So it is pretty affordable. Okay, and then last but not least, let's talk a little bit about like commonly used phrases when you go to the hospital in Japan. So most people in Japan, they tend to go to a hospital or doctor's office pretty quickly. So unlike Belgian people who just like like hate going to the doctors or don't go unless they're like literally feeling like they're dying, Japanese people just go whenever they feel something coming on. Yeah, so when you enter a doctor's office, the thing they usually ask you for is either your hokkensho. Hokkensho is your health insurance card, and also like the card from the hospital. They have like little cards for your hospital to get your history of going to that hospital. It's usually what they ask you for. And then they ask you like 今日はどうされましたか、どうしたんですか? They ask you, what's going on? Like, why do you want to come? And you can say then, 診察お願いします. Like, for example, that means like, I would like to get a checkup, or I would like to get seen by a doctor. And then you can also quickly say, like, 喉が痛くて診察に来ました or something like that. You can quickly say a little bit your symptoms. If it's the first time you're going to a hospital, they usually give you like a little bit of information paper where you have to fill out your basic information and why you're coming today. Most hospitals that is in Japanese, so I would recommend you to either bring your phone to translate or bring somebody who speaks and reads Japanese. Now, some of the most common symptoms you will either hear or want to talk about is, for example, nodo no itami, that means a sore throat, or atama ga itai, that means a headache, or darui means like you feel like sick and tired, just bad overall. Netsu means fever. Binetsu is a low-grade fever. What else do you have? Like shishin is a rash, for example. Kayui means itchy, yes. So itai is it hurts, it's painful, and kayui is itchy. Like seki means coughing, and hanamizu is, I don't know, stuff in your nose. What's that called? I don't know. Snot. So it's hanamizu. Tan ga tsumatteiru means you have sputum in your throat. Yeah, that one. Hanamizu ga detekiteru. That means you have a runny nose. And then hana ga tsumatteiru. That means your nose is blocked, kind of. Yeah, so those are a couple of like symptoms you might want to talk about with your doctor. And your doctor might also ask you these questions like, is your nose blocked, or does your throat hurt? Do you have a cough? Do you have a fever? How are you feeling? Yeah, they will ask you lots of questions, and then you just take a look at your body, inspect your throat, or feel your not tonsils, your lymph nodes. Like mine are swollen at the moment because I'm still sick. Yeah, that's generally how a doctor visit goes. You can't make an appointment at most hospitals, so you just go and you wait for your turn, and then you go back to the waiting room and you wait until the nurses call your name. Then you go pay at the counter and you get your prescription, or you get a letter to bring to like another doctor or specialist at the hospital. That's usually how it goes. Okay, so that's a little bit of an introduction to healthcare here in Japan. I hope it was at least a little bit helpful, to tell you my own experiences, and to reassure you that healthcare is affordable and all around you here. And I hope the phrases also help you a little bit. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you watched until here, please leave me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye! Hopefully in better health.